units. What I was doing down here was I was warping in a secondary task force. Because my warping area wasn't that large, I had to warp them in and then move them. So yeah, here's the primary attack force. Alright, now this is just to soften up the Terran army and to also create some pressure for the Terrans so they're not worried about the back of their base. And they're more worried, he'll be more worried about now after this engagement, fortifying the front of his base. Yeah, he's got 3 Marines and a siege tank. And the siege tank does not have siege mode. Yeah. Even though that tank does a little bit of damage, I just focus fire it down. And by my siege tank, you did not do much, except for die. But yeah, this Marauder, by the look of it, is just going to survive this brutal attack. And there goes that Protoss advance. But now, the Terrans are crippled. But he thinks I am. But look here, I have 5 of each class, basic class, in the gateway. 5 Stalkers, 5 Zealots, 5 Sentries, going in the back door, and if you have a look from Squishy's perspective, he is not even looking in that area, nor can he see these rocks about to go down. So if I go back to everyone, I leave these rocks down to red a little bit, and then I wait for these additional reinforcements to come over, so I'll have 10 Zealots, 5 Sentries, and 5 Stalkers. And then I'll just Control Shift F on those units, and take down those rocks extremely fast, and run in for kill. While I'm doing that, I go to Squishy's view, Squishy's making his units, he's all happy, and then he goes, "Oh, what are all these red units doing in my base? I was so stupid for leaving those rocks unguarded. All I needed was 1 siege tank in siege mode behind those rocks." Which is truly all that Terran player needed. And he would have stopped this whole attack on his main base if he put that siege tank behind this position here where the rocks were. I wouldn't have got up there and it would have crippled my whole army. But this silly Terran player was only worried about his front expansion. So yeah, I knew I wasn't getting past that siege tank with these units, but I just wanted to do as much damage as I could and take out his supply. Those Terran players hate it. See, look at this, I had his supply down quite a fair bit. And yeah, he's got this siege tank in here, I wanted to dodge the siege tank. But yeah, this Terran player is pretty much dead in the water. Because all he's got all these harvesters sitting here. He was too into the game, you know, that with this tank and stuff, that he didn't worry about his SCVs. Newbie Terran player. Yeah, that factory's going to die just out of siege range. And bye-bye Sentry. These guys can get owned. And I thought, I don't care if that siege tank's going to shoot me, I'm going to kill as much of these guys as I can. And that's exactly what I did. Bye-bye Marauders. Boom. Now, the Terran players gotta be thinking right now, oh crap, and my supply depots are open. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna warp in some more units back in my main base. I got my warp ins, I got my 10 Zealot force, you know. Look at my money's going good, alright? I'm not that worried at this point in the game. I'm sending in, this is attack force 1, my front-on attack force. So I thought I'm going to attack from 2 sides at once and kill this guy once and for all. I've attacked through the front and crippled him. I've attacked through the back and crippled him. Now I'm going to do the final killing move. Kill this siege tank. I knew he had a detail of Marauders. So the only way to take this siege tank out was to draw fire from one side to take the guards onto the other side to prevent them from getting the siege tank and then killing the siege tank from behind while it was undefended. So I bring in, this is Strike Force 2 with my 5 Zealots and 5 Sentries. And yeah, I got scouted here. Blue saw my front-on force coming. So he's got to be going, okay, I've got to bring these guys to the front. So here comes Attack Force 1 coming in. Siege tank spots him. Going for the mineral lines. And these guys go, no, we must save the mineral lines. And as that happens, perfectly timed, comes in Strike Force 2. and they just completely decimate the tank. Force fields and ramp to prevent the units from coming up and coming up and preventing the demise of the tank, and that was GG. I had zealots left, right, and center in all of the bases, and that was pretty much game over. GG, Swishy says. Good game, game over. And as you can see here, he tried to build another expansion, but that just, no, was not going to happen for you, mate. And yeah, I got my pylons. I got an additional 5 zealots en route. I had 3 stargates, which I probably could have gone void rays and damage upgrades. So yeah, even though I didn't expand, I didn't need to. This is what happens when you're a Terran player and you get too cocky with your early liftoff and expansion. You're not worried about protecting your main base, you're too worried about protecting your expansion. So yeah, thank you for watching another replay from Unitcomander, and I'll see you next video. Have a nice night. Goodbye.